this morning and at this time then spans across the battle for the pre-2027 coalitions. The Member of Parliament for Naivasha constituency is the Honourable Jayne Kihara and joins us this morning. Mheshimiwa, good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
Karibu sana.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
This is the second time.
Yes, and it's good to have you here. And you're wearing the right colour. I just want to say.
Thank you.
We're going to look into all of these things this morning. But before we do, as you know, as you were introduced to, Dennis goes around the African continent every week. He's in an interesting country this week, and we'd love to get your interpretation of the proverb.
Yes, we are in an island country of Mauritius, just off the coast, not far from Madagascar. And one thing that stands out with this country being an island is their white sandy beaches, which then plugs into tourism, which is huge in the country because of the beaches, the coral reefs, and the clear lagoons that help propel the country's economy. The proverb we get from Mauritius says, water and fish are friends, but the same water supports fire to cook the fish. How would you interpret it?
Come again?
Water and fish are friends, but the same water supports fire to cook the fish.
That means, what do I say? Everything is important to each other. You need water, you need fish. So we have to learn to live together, to cooperate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well said.
We have to live together to cooperate. That's interesting. Because that's what coalitions are, really. That people coming together on a similar thought, and they say, well, in order for us to make sure that things can happen, then let's form this coalition.
Yes.
Is that the way in which Kenya's politics is going towards 2027?
That's the way it's supposed to be. As to whether that's happening, for example, you have seen what has been happening over the weekend, where we are supposed to give each other room, tolerance, and that will bring us close to talking together. People have to talk. But then again, why do you want a coalition? Do you want a coalition so that you get to power, or do you want to get a coalition so that you help the country? Kenyan politics, and let nobody cheat you, is tribal. And being tribal, when a region knows that they cannot get to power alone, they need to look for the other region. But as to whether really it's not just for power, it's for development, that's something else. Yeah, because we have seen it, like what happened just this weekend. ODM, I don't know which ODM, there are two, wants to coalesce with UDA. Is it for development, or is it to sustain Ruto in power? Are they going there so that they give their force to help the government, or is it for personal gains by the leaders? So sometimes coalitions in this country do not mean well. But again, they have to be there.
I mean, the politics of coalitions would date back to Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki coming together and forming that coalition that then formed government in 2002. And you look at the services that Kenyans talk about today, and it's where Kenya is today is pegged based off that coalition, the government that was formed at the time. That means if done well, the country gets to benefit. As we speak today, approaching towards 2027, how, knowing very well that there are those who want to get to power using coalitions for the sake of having power and not service to the people, how do we change that and say that in 2027, we are coming together to form a coalition whose main agenda is to serve the people of Kenya, because we can't walk alone. We have to work with others.
Even that coalition of 2002, which we all sing about and we think was the best thing. If you remember very well, Raila joined the team late. He came late. He realized he was alone on the other side. And that's why in 2005, he bolted. He didn't finish that term. That tells you, much as we got a lot of development, because originally those who joined together, they wanted to remove more years, but then they wanted the country to move. And I think it was taken by the right person who wanted development. I was in that parliament, by the way, and I remember Raila walking in with his lieutenants and bowed and moved to opposition. And he was a full minister. So, okay, those who left and the original coalition went on because they were many, and again they meant business. Raila went away because they called it the summit. At the summit level, we don't know what they agreed, or other Kenyans do not know. But it later came out that there was an MOU that was not honored, which we were not part of, Kenyans. But they had agreed there. That MOU now was power, because that is why Raila left. Because we were supposed to change the constitution so that we create the position of a prime minister, which did not happen. And that's why he went. So really, coalitions, yes, they are good, but again, it's also for power, the big boys.
Oh, okay. Wow. So this is what we're saying this morning, that these coalitions that we see, people coming together, saying, let's form this, let's form the other, it's not really about then having a force whereby the people of Kenya and the securitization of their livelihoods, for example, can be experienced. But what we are saying is that there are individuals who want to ensure that they are in positions whereby they can either influence or get positions whereby their pockets can be lined. That's what we are saying.
Exactly. That's what it is. Ruto wants to remain in power. That's why he needs ODM. Otherwise, he has the power. He can run the country. But just in case he's not re-elected, he needs other people to join him. It's unfortunate.
So this has been the call. Our question is that where do the people of Kenya then fall into all of this? And if it's very clear that these coalitions are being formed not to then strengthen the force for which the development of Kenya then is addressed with, but that individuals will then continually be relevant politically. So then where do the people of Kenya fall into all of this? Or is it just it's a buzzword where people say for the people? Where do the people of Kenya fall into all of this?
You know, it depends on, for example, in 2002, Kibaki wanted to develop this country, and he was the team leader. So it happened. Now, I don't think that is what we are seeing now. I don't see the president really bothering about developing Kenya. You don't want to take care of your hustlers who put you there. You really don't talk about hustlers anymore. I think it depends on individuals. What do you want power for? Do you want a power to develop? Let's go down. Does Jayne Kihara want to make Naivasha better? Or she just wants to remain there so that she has access to power and other material things? This is entirely individuals. Yes, if you get the right people there, coalitions would be good.
You know, we've seen discussions about even the MOU that then you talk about back in 2002. It was between two individuals. Members of parliament were not party to it. Kenyans were not party to it. It was between two individuals who had discussions about what it is they wanted with that coalition. Now, unfortunately, we find ourselves again talking about coalitions today. And are we taking the same trajectory where it's just individuals talking about what it is they want to achieve, and Kenyans might as well plug in or not, whether they like it or not? We have gotten what it is we have. How do we, or rather, would it be important if Kenyans are involved in the formation of these coalitions so that they are key stakeholders as well in these processes?
It would be important. I don't know the methodology to bring Kenyans into it, but it would be important. I told you it depends on individuals. Kenyans want good governance. They want development. If you don't bring them into it, you're going to do your own things. Just like I told you, that MOU, Kenyans were not party to it. They didn't know what it was. But there we were. It messed that equation, because if you remember, when Raila bolted with his members of parliament, except one, the late Oroa Ringo, and Raila made sure he was not re-elected. They are both late. May God rest their souls. Kibaki had a problem now in parliament. So what did he do? He went outside to fish for other MPs. For example, in Kiambu, all the members of parliament had voted against Kibaki. They voted for Uhuru. He needed them, so he talked to them. He talked to the late Nyachai so that he comes with his pod people to be able to run government business in parliament. What am I saying? I'm saying if they all meant well, this should not have happened. They should have let the term go. But us not knowing what was discussed there in that room, we suffered, the Kenyans. So I don't know where we are going to get genuine real leaders in this country.
Does Kenya not have genuine leaders right now, Mheshimiwa? Across board, from whatever level. Those who are sitting in positions of the member of the county assembly, governors, senators, members of parliament, president. Does Kenya not have leaders?
I don't know what I want to say. You know, I'm one of them.
Exactly.
I don't know what you want me to say, but look at what is happening now. When we got into office as UDA, we were masses. It really disappointing that along the way, Ruto is looking for other people to help him. Why is he doing that? Because he chased those ones he did not want to work with to finish the term without. For example, and this is exactly what happened. When Ruto picked Gachagua as his running mate, he knew very well, this is not something that just happened. He knew very well he was not going to go full term with him. And for his survival, we were able to conduct business in parliament as we were, because we had the numbers. But 2/3 to transact an impeachment was impossible. So that's when he needed Raila, of course. And Raila also needed him because he needed to get to power. He died in power. So we cannot say we have the best leaders. We have individuals who have other ideas of why you want power.
What does this speak about the elected leaders that we have at the moment and their promise to Wananchi that if you re-elect us, we will do better? If already, having been given that opportunity, they've let Kenyans down. How does someone repackage themselves to come back to Wananchi after letting them down in the first place?
That depends, really. You know, the buck stops with the leadership.
Mm-hmm.
If the leadership, or what do I say, runs the government the way Kenya is being run now, members of parliament will have a problem, because we give them so much hope. The president gave them so much hope. We included, because you are in that team.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are also very disappointed, because some of us believed that what we were saying was the right thing and it was going to happen. But now what's happening is that everything we said, we are not doing. We are doing the things we didn't say. So some of us find ourselves very disoriented. You feel you are part of this lying, if you allow me to call it lying. We lied Kenyans. You lied to Kenyans so that we get where we are. But when we get there, what we told them we are not doing. For example, and I remember myself, Jayne Kihara, asking the president before he was elected. I told him, Your Excellency, these youth are going to elect you because you have given them so much hope. But also knowing the number of youth without jobs, without school fees. When I needed to figure out, or to get him to tell me what is it that he's planning for them, the answer he gave me shocked me, because he told me, Jayne, hawa tutawapanga. Now, kuwapanga, he didn't go beyond that. You know, kuwapanga, you can say, I'm going to make sure there are industries, I'm going to make sure this. He didn't tell me anything. That tells you there was no serious arrangement or structure or how you want to do it, you just want to get there. And the rest is shaurien.
Wow. This is what you're saying is extremely serious. Then we might think it political and just say, well, it's just the politics. People come and promise. But the truth of the matter is that if we look at the numbers, that they don't look good, Mheshimiwa. That the children, because any child until 18 is a child in this country, that the children who have not sat exams, their children. So I read a staggering statistic. And one of the pillars upon which the Kenya Kwanzaa administration drove a nail really into the thing was education. I mean, went around the country talking to different sets. And you knew this because, I mean, it was part of it. There was a women's charter, there was an education charter, there was a health charter, there was all of these things. And that you put hope in the bellies of people.
Yes.
That's what you did. That you came and said, okay, it's going to change. You put hope. And you know what? We finished the financial year with only 12,400 shillings going to capitation. And this is just at secondary school level, when the amount is supposed to be 22,000. 50% of the amount of money that you're supposed to put in, you did. That's finishing the year. We don't know what's going to happen this year. Examination invigilators and assessors from last year's exams, and we're going into exam season. September is beckoning when the first exams for grade 6 will be sat. So that's just one example. I'm just giving one example.
And that's what
you've done is that you've now taken the morsel that was in the mouth has now been removed. Even that one, they're not able to swallow. It is
I think I answered that one too.
It's a heavy indictment.
When I say we are doing what we didn't say, but what we said, we are not doing. That's the answer to your worry. Is that the president wanted power, yes, but he rode to power with promises of making the country better. But if anything, we retrogressed. Nothing is really moving.
Did you believe that these things were going to be done?
Some of us believed, and that's why we supported, and that's why we got very disappointed. If you remember, our president went back to the sunroof immediately. He got into the office instead of getting to office to work, which was very worrying, which me as a person, I told him it is not looking very tidy when we have just gone around this country promising, and we have said so many things. And before we start, we are again back on the roof. So people are wondering, they are looking at you and saying, what lie does he want to tell us today? I challenged him one-on-one. I told him, this doesn't look good. We have just gone round. And then he had another round of Thanksgiving. So I told him, now that you have finished Thanksgiving, can you get to the office to work? And I reminded him of President Kibaki's leadership. I told him, Your Excellency, Kibaki did not miss one Sunday service. He used to go to his church, the Consolata Shrine in Westlands, every Sunday with just 2 cars. From there, he used to go back to State House and work. Now that you have gone round thanking people for electing you, can you now get to the office and work?
What was his response? I'm curious.
He said, he told me, Jayne, but I'm not Kibaki. Kibaki was an old man. Yeah, but yes, he did the work. He said, no. I said, but now you are repeating what you just said. He told me, Jayne, do you remember Omo with Power Form? Yes, I do. What about it? You repeat and repeat and repeat. Omo is still around. So you don't care. You just want to keep promising. That is the answer I got from His Excellency, the President. So some of us just got very worried that we told people very many things, and that's why I know how I campaigned for him in Naivasha. And then I have nothing now to tell Naivasha because we are repeating, we are advertising the government.
How would you respond when someone says that leaders have, including you, have poor sense of judgment? Because 2017, 2022, the very same person you went around campaigning with was accused by his former boss, Uhuru Kenyatta, of not working, being on top of roofs the entire period. That by the time you're getting to office, he was pretty much just doing the same thing he did the previous 4 years. Would Kenyans be right by saying that the leaders have poor sense of judgment in looking at someone and looking at a problem and courting it instead of arresting it? Would Kenyans be right?
Maybe and maybe not. Let me explain. When Uhuru Kenyatta campaigned with President Ruto, then Ruto got into people's hearts because of those who loved Uhuru. That one you must know. You just don't leave leaders and this. You put the people also, the followers also. You'd be surprised some of us followed the people because that is where people are. He had managed to craft his politics that Kenyans loved him. And because, again, of this politics of you finish your 10 years and then Ruto takes his 10 years. So Kenyans believe that is what they needed to do.
But Mheshimiwa,
But now, this is the time we are all learning. The people and us. I think now next time you are going to make good judgment.
Because one would say, I would not be surprised that now it's being said is not working, because when he was still in office for the second term of Ruto administration, he still didn't work. So how then do we complain now that he's not working?
You know, when you
if
say,
he never worked before?
You know, let me tell you, when you say a deputy president is not working, you are being unfair to him, because he's supposed to do, he's a principal assistant.
Then he's supposed to work as a principal assistant.
He's supposed to work,
do what the president says.
Yeah, but if the president doesn't give him anything to do, for example, your spare wheel, that wheel at the back of your car.
Just be there in case.
Just be there.
Okay.
And then he crafted his own.
Because he was let's be honest, he was busy as a deputy president, wasn't he? And this is where the whole thing of Tanga Tanga and Kieleweka came from.
Yeah.
Because he was around the country sowing seeds, which, we be honest, they actually bore fruit. And that is how he got a lot of the following that he did come 2022. Because he was busy in the last 5 years.
What was he busy doing?
Going around the country and
campaigning. Yes.
Yes, campaigning. He was
and telling people that he should be the next president.
And it worked.
And it worked. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. So now that us and the people we lead, we are in the same hole. It is for us now to sit and talk and say this should not happen.
Okay, well, let's see about climbing out of that hole. We are with Member of Parliament for Naivasha constituency, Jayne Kihara. And when we come back, let's have a conversation about where things are going into 2027, especially with what we see happening today. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
It appears, though, this mandate, whether it's broad, because there's a coalition in what we see now in terms of how government is being run, with a broad-based government with ODM and UDA coming together, and it would have been interesting because a number of UDA members said before, well, we thought we were going a certain way. Now you've brought in another party and you've put them in particular positions. Does that change the trajectory of this course? You've already told us that certain things that you promised have not been done. That was very clear. And that there was no intent to do so from conversations that you had with the president. Now, you bring in another party and now you seem to be getting along with this vehicle to go a certain place. Is it still going somewhere, this broad-based government, or is it for the purposes of a re-election, from what you see?
It is, but the people are better now. Kenyans now understand. If you listen to the people these days, including you, where you have to pay for a house that you care nothing about and you didn't ask for it. You didn't consult the people. So there is that group of the pay slip holders who are, and then there is the parents, the schools. Now Kenyans are better. I think they'll make the right decision now, this time round.
Yeah.
Because everybody is disappointed. Everybody is disappointed. Go anywhere. Everybody is disappointed. In fact, the only people who are happy with this government is those who are eating from it. And because, again, politics is about numbers, some of us needed to know that we are not going anywhere a lot earlier. But, when you don't talk when you have food in the mouth. So they didn't talk. Now, the president wants to go back to the office. The people he moved with to put him there now have seen that it's not working, so he needs a new lot.
Yeah.
Who also feel that they have been out of the government for the longest. In fact, they are telling us, we didn't know the government is so sweet because of the goodies are coming their way. But it's not going to the public, the voters. It's about you. I think when you talk about yourself and you are leading people, one, you are being dishonest. But the people can see this now. I see things changing.
With the promise, the 2022 election victory was based off promises that were given to Ananchi through the Better Transformation Agenda. And as we talk about that, then right now as we speak, there is equally the promise that Wananchi will be given for them to cast the vote. One then asks the question, what is the opposition strategy to avoid making the same mistake that was made in 2022, that you elect an individual in office and goes back on top of roofs? That the promises that were made in that manifesto are the things that are adhered to. We do exactly as we promised Kenyans we would do. What is the strategy this time round?
Let's not talk of the strategy, but talk about Kenyans. Mm-hmm. And this question was answered in Okalau. You know, I was there. Mm-hmm. Where so many things were promised, so many things were given, so that they give out their vote, but they still didn't. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, this time, if you want leadership, you have to move with the people. You have to move with the people. And because they have been disappointed, yes, you moved with them last time, but you are lied to together with them. Now, you have been awakened together with them. In Okalau, I was talking to one of the leaders who are campaigning for the UDA candidate last night. He told me there is no way they could tell that they're not going to take this vote. Because people just there. Mtatuona. Yes. In fact, you would tell them, let's meet tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. But they tell you, no. Tomorrow morning, there's money coming. So let's meet in the afternoon. You go and collect the money first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was no way knowing how people were going to vote.
They did not know.
Okay.
Until the vote was cast. That tells you Kenyans are awake. They know that when we lie to them, they know.
Okay. There is a wave of violence that is taking place. And even though the campaign period as set by the IEBC is yet to formally open, we're not seeing this open until next year, that there's a lot that's going on politically and that people are being charged in a political position, direction. And what that does is that it has invited unknowingly and unpalatably a lot of violence in the country. The number of people who died this weekend was 3 people too many. The number of people who were injured was 22 people too many. 33, if I'm getting the numbers correctly, were too many. And it was unnecessary, whichever way you want to look at it or whatever political side you are on. Is this a scare point for people to say we need to be careful about what's going to happen in 2027?
Definitely it is. It's very worrying. Nobody needs to die. And also when we were campaigning, I'm telling you, there are so many things that the president promised. He said, there is not going to be, not one person who will die on account of politics. He kept on repeating. It's just the other day he said that Goonism is going to be a thing of the past.
He said it's going to be dealt with, yes, indeed.
It's going to be dealt with. What am I saying? There is nothing that the president says that you need to think twice if you believe anything he says. He likes talking for people to hear. But on the other hand, he's doing something different. It's unfortunate. And this culture of these thugs we are bringing is a worrying trend in this country where you use other people's children, desperate. They are looking for jobs. There are no jobs. Like now I had not seen the paper. I heard when they were reviewing the papers, you are getting 4,000. 4,000 is a lot of money for somebody who can't get 200 shillings, but that's big money. So they'll go for it. And if they were to listen to me, I would tell them, yes, take the money, but don't go and kill your brother. Don't go and fight. There's no. Why would you want to fight for me? I think, I don't know where we are going to educate them, but this is how Haiti started. and then they were uncontrollable. So what the government is doing is allowing the country to go in the wrong direction by not charging the leaders and not dealing with this thuggery directly, conclusively. That tells you the buck stops with the president. Mr. President, what did you mean when you said this thuggery is going to stop? Murkomen, what did you mean? Or did you just talk? You know, Ruto has talked, and nobody now cares what he says. I have worked as an assistant minister in the Kibaki government. And you could see when he has a meeting, what he says there is an order. Somebody takes it down and deals with it at whatever stage. With Ruto, you are going to fill a whole notebook and nothing is going to happen because ni kuongea tu, ni siasa tu.
What does that...
When you say about IBC, the first person, the culprit is the president. He has been campaigning ever since. Yeah. And because why do you want to go out advertising your government? I have done this. I have done this. Economy is better. This. Why do you want to say it? Economy, I know economy will be good when I have some money in the pocket. I don't care about the figures. You're going to give me figures. But if you have money in your pocket, then you know something is right or the economy is working. But why do you want to keep advertising your government? Chema chajiuza, kibaya chajitembeza. So unatembeza serikali yako kisema tumefanya. Didn't you see? We want to see. It's really sad. It's really sad.
What does this speak of different agencies that have been given mandates to deliver to Mwananchi? You'd speak about EBC, and would you simply just go back to the by-elections that have been held? We would talk about Ol Kalau and the illegalities that surrounded the campaigning towards the same. You talk about state officers in campaigns. You talk about Magarini, talk about Kasipul, and the violence that dogged these by-elections. And one asks the question as well, NCIC, now that we hear what upon Kaluma, the MP, said, and these statements and nothing is being said. What does that say to a government in terms of adhering to the rule of law as enshrined in the Constitution, and these independent agencies as well just doing their job?
The rule of law, I like that. Does anybody care? The rule of law. Ruto does not care. He runs this government single-handedly. When you talk about IEBC, you know, those are his cronies, those are his people. He picked them himself. If you remember, some time ago, IEBC was a combination of people nominated by other parties.
Yes.
So that once they get there, you know your interests have been taken care of. Parties bring their nominees. But these are all his nominees. And they have a connection from somewhere. This is a friend, this is somebody, this is... That is... So that one, this government, including the ministries, Ruto runs this country alone. He's the one who says what you need to do in your ministry. He's the one who gives you the name of the person to nominate in that board. So you as a minister, yours is to sign. It's drafted somewhere. The Kenya Gazette draft is drafted somewhere, but your signature is needed down here. And I'll give you an example. I was very inside that government when we were campaigning.
Yes.
So there are so many things I know. So I got somebody given a board member of Kengen. You know, Kengen is in Naivasha.
Yes.
So I said that I went and told the president, we don't have anybody. This Kengen is in Naivasha, and maybe please, because they need a board member, maybe you can. And he told me, give me a name, and I gave him a name. By the time she sat there, the next person to tell her, it was a she. When there is a job, give to so and so. Is president's man. Is Farouk Kibet. Kuna kazi pale. He doesn't know this person. I'm the one who put. But by the time she gets there, they all know. So it is a one-man show, unfortunately. And also somebody who I think doesn't mean well for this country. I always keep on asking myself, why did Ruto so much wanted to be the president? Because I imagine the president should work for the people. Let me tell you, the problems Kenyans have today, down there where we are, the problems, when you tell us about 2060 and somebody doesn't know what they're going to eat this evening, you know you're just talking to yourself. When a mother cannot send their child to school because there is no money, then you tell them you have built a stadium, means you have got your priorities very wrong. These are the same people you called hustlers. You told them you're going to improve their lives. You told them all these things. Now they are the ones suffering. But when you talk, you want to tell them that you are building a stadium.
Surely human beings will not... Are you saying that the president hid from you his lieutenants, like you called them?
Yes.
The people who were closest, I mean, you were in endless meetings with him. You went around the country with him.
He conned us.
You were in the closest of his wardrobes. Are you saying that the person that he was hidden from you and is completely different from who he is today?
Completely a different person. Completely. I'm surprised you can hide that long. He's such a super con man.
What would you think the people of Kenya ought to do with this information, number one? And number two, the people who have the power that has been delegated to them by vote, are members of parliament, National Assembly, who can actually say, well, you know what? We see that things are not going the way in which we should. Perhaps we should reroute this train. But we've never even had a whiff of that kind of a conversation where people are saying, okay, maybe we need to move things differently, how we make the laws, how we spend the money, maybe that ought to change. And of course, we've heard things like capture, parliament being captured. I don't know with what, handcuffs these are happening, but is that the situation as well?
Of course it is. Even that parliament is his. He'll get anything he wants passed. You see, like this, let me give you an example. This Hustler Fund, he went to launch it before we passed it in Parliament. And that piece of legislation was brought that morning. So he is at Uhuru Park. We need to pass it so that he launched it. So it is just it's conmanship.
Yeah.
And again, he likes bribing. When we fight this corruption, Ruto will give you whatever money when he wants something from you. And that's why he believed that you'll get the Okalau seat, because of the money he put there, the goodies he put there, the bribing he put there. That's why he thought he'll get away with it. But I'm telling you, Kenyans know better. They know they don't need him in State House again.
Yeah. Will the 13th Parliament go down in memory's history as Parliament that did not meet the criteria rather that Kenyans
that failed
put there.
Kenyans, just call it.
Because you look at even the insecurity that we talk about today, we have the committees on security that perhaps maybe even right now all would be seeing is these committees moving with speed, summoning the security heads to know exactly what happened in Homa Bay County, but nothing so much. So Parliament has failed Kenyans.
Parliament has failed Kenyans, I must admit. Parliament does what the president wants done. I'll give you an example. When we were sending our police to Haiti, I don't know, he didn't know it was not going to be very popular. It came, and people from North Rift and everybody thought it was a bad idea. One, because we don't have enough policemen in your area. And here you are sending your police. Yeah. So when he realized, of course, the majority leader, that this thing is not going to pass, it was stood down. So that now he orders. He stood down that day. It's brought another day. Now he has talked to his troops so that it passes. Yani, you are doing what he wants. When you use your head, it's not good for.
It's a crime.
It's not good for him. It's a crime. And these bribing leaders, if you hear there's a PG, parliamentary group meeting in State House, you know they're going for money.
From experience?
From experience, of course. You know, when we passed this, the finance bill of 2024, and he realized it was not popular with us. We didn't want it. We went to State House. Of course, he dropped a few things, the bread and car spares and something like that. And then the chairman was supposed to illustrate this is what it means, this is what it means, we do this, we do this. We were still not convinced, some of us. So I again rose up because I told you, I don't fear him. He's a human being. I told him, Your Excellency, what you should do. You are very good at round table communication. Why don't you call the media in State House and communicate to Kenyans that this bill is good because of 1, 2, 3, the way you have just told us.
Yeah.
Just call a round table like you have done in the past and talk to Kenyans. No. Igawe kazi tugawanye. Sisi ni viongozi wote. He doesn't want to do that. You know, I wanted to get myself out of it. Why don't you do it? Talk to Kenyans. Tell them, look, the way you have just told us here. He said, hapana. Sisi ni viongozi wote. Tumechaguliwa. Tuende tukaongee. There you are.
Okay. It's come out this morning from Jayne Kihara, actually a trusted confidant, one who was very close at the time,
yes,
and who's gone in a different direction this morning. Well, not just this morning, but has told us of a different direction this morning. And as it said in Kiswahili, kazi kwako. Isn't it? Thank you for being here with us this morning. I mean, a lot of things have come out, and not in a shouting manner, but some of the truths that you seem to lay bare this morning are very interesting. And I guess the work to be done is up to anybody who then takes heed to those words. She's a member of Parliament for Naivasha constituency, Jayne Kihara. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Asante sana.
Asante sana. Good morning, 8 a.m.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4. This is The Situation Room. The only way to start your day.